Wonderful. Okay, my name is Danielle Yansky. I'm the Director of Admission here at Schreiner. And tonight we just have the opportunity to discuss some financial aid basics with you. So thank you so much for joining us. We've got two wonderful people from our financial services department that have joined us on the call here. We've got the amazing Shannon Strauss as well as Preston Wheeler, and they can help answer any questions you have. We'll do a brief overview. Please don't be shy. You are also more than welcome to email us if you have any questions. You can email us privately at admissions@schreiner.edu. This information will also be on the PowerPoint that they have created for us. And feel free to use the chat feature if you would like. If you just want to type something out, you're more than welcome to. You do not have to show your video, but again, you're more than welcome to if you'd like. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get it started. Thank you, Shannon and Preston, for joining us.
Sure, thank you so much. So again, my name is Shannon, and we are going to do this presentation really quick, followed up with some question and answers. If we're doing this presentation and you guys have any questions, please feel free to put it in the chat during the presentation and we can kind of address it then. So we're going to be mostly going over generic information today. If you would like specific information about your account, please schedule a one-on-one meeting with a financial services counselor. You can either email them or call them, and they can do a one-on-one and look at your specific information. Also, we've kind of mentioned this, but just to cut down on background noise, if you don't mind just muting your computer or cell phone or whatever you're on, and then we will open it up for questions at the end of this presentation. And then please feel free to use chat. So we're going to talk about for a minute, what are the 6 steps to financial aid? So this is something that every student goes through, kind of our big process. So of course, number 1, apply to Schreiner University and get accepted. The financial services department will be unable to see your financial information until you've been accepted into our university. Once that happens, then we can look at your FAFSA, package you with financial aid, all those kinds of things, but you do need to be accepted before we're able to do that. Submit your FAFSA. Our school code is at 003610. If you don't write that down or if you don't have that memorized, that's not a problem. You can just search for Schreiner University and enter that in. Once you have submitted your FAFSA, you will receive your award letter. You'll receive it by email as well as an actual letter in the mail to you. Next, you want to review your options and review your letter. So if you have questions on your award letter, feel free to give us a call and we can go over what each award is on your award letter. And then choose the best financing option for your family. And we're going to talk about some of those financing options later in this presentation. So big thing, always check your online portal. So we use Schreiner One. Everything is going to be housed in there. You can see if you're missing any financial aid or admissions documents. For example, if you're selected for verification or if we're needing your FERPA form, anything like that, that's kind of how you get to those forms is through Schreiner One. You can print off the forms. Some of them are uploadable. So like if you are selected for verification, you can actually go in and upload those documents. This is also how you get to Net Partner, where you accept or decline your financial aid. And then again, you can see all of your information. So your billing statements, class schedule, housing. That way you don't have to wait for, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. If you want to pull your billing statement up on a Saturday at 2 o'clock, you can do that. So a question that we get a lot is, what is an FSA ID and why do I need it? An FSA ID is very important. The student needs one, and then the parent, you also need one as a parent. It is tied to your social security number, so you want to make sure that your social security number is correct when you enter that information in. If you flip numbers or get something wrong, it's going to kind of be a hassle to fix it with Department of Education. So you want to make sure that you enter in those numbers correctly. So parents, if you guys have an FSA ID and you have 2 students in college, you're going to use the same FSA ID for both of your students. So you want to make sure to write that information down. Also, students, you guys, this will be your ID all through college. So you also want to make sure you write that down. And parents, don't enter in your information as the student. So you want to make sure everybody's separate. You have your own email address, you have your own social security number. Again, it'll always be your login information. So what is the FAFSA? I know a lot of you guys have filled out the FAFSA and turned it in, which is great. So we're just going to touch on this briefly. The FAFSA stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. It is not FAFSA.com. FAFSA.com makes you pay like 50 bucks for it, and it's free. So you want to make sure that you're doing the actual Department of Education FAFSA. Basically, what the FAFSA is it is a calculation the Department of Education uses, and it is based on your family tax information and household size. So they run this algorithm and they send out this number called the EFC, or the Expected Family Contribution. So this number goes to every school. So if you apply to 5 different schools and you send your FAFSA to 5 different schools, we are all getting that same EFC number, but what we do with it is a little different depending on what school you're applying to, because it's all based on how much aid you're eligible to receive based on our cost of attendance. But that number is very important to us. Another thing to note about the FAFSA is it only lasts for 1 school year. So you want to do this every year you're in college. So FAFSA uses prior year taxes, and so it opens every year on October 1st. And I've had a lot of questions about why are they using prior year taxes? And it is because there are a lot of tax extensions that happen, and so it kind of takes out the tax extension issue. And so that's why Department of Education decided to switch to prior year. So if you are a fall 2020 student, you're going to want to use your 2018 income information. So if you're a fall 2021 student, when the FAFSA opens, you're going to want to use 2019 income information. FAFSA has a data retrieval tool where you can link straight to the IRS website to download tax information. You're going to see a little button and it says link to IRS. I always recommend doing that if it gives you that option. So you'll need to enter in your information exactly as it is on your tax return, because it's basically the FAFSA and the IRS website talking to each other. So it's 2 computers talking to each other. So you're going to need to make sure that information matches what's on your tax return. It's like your address and your name, things like that. It's beneficial if you're selected for verification, because we can take your FAFSA now and use it as a tax document when you do that from the IRS. When you fill out your FAFSA, make sure that you've got your parents' 2018 tax return and your 2018 W-2s or tax return if you as a student worked. So since it's 2 years ago, we get these questions a lot. What if our income has changed drastically? What if parents have gotten married or divorced? What if a new family member has been added? What if something drastic has happened to your family? What happens? And that comes up. And so we have a process called special circumstances. And so if you feel like that's the case, you need to reach out to our department and speak with a financial services counselor, and they'll kind of walk you through that process, let you know what needs to be turned in. There is usually a lot of documentation that we need for that process. Okay, so what is financial aid? Financial aid is scholarships and grants, merit scholarships. So that is based on you, the student, what you are coming in with. So what you've done in high school that earns you this merit scholarship. Need-based scholarships, so those come off of the FAFSA. That is part of that EFC we talked about earlier. That's where we get your need-based aid, what you're eligible for. Comes from that EFC number. And then performance-based scholarships. So those are scholarships you do something on campus, and in turn, you earn a scholarship for doing that. And then work study opportunities. We're going to talk about work study here in a minute, but I love work study. I think it's a great opportunity for students. And then loan options. All freshmen are qualified for $5,500 in federal student loans by completing the FAFSA process. So work study, basically it's a job on campus. If you mark yes on the work study FAFSA question, that does not obligate you to having to work on campus. You can do that to see if you're eligible. And then if you decide if you're eligible and it's on your award letter and you decide you want a job, then you usually apply for the jobs right before school starts. We have a gentleman named David Reist, and he's in charge of all work study jobs. And you go, you submit applications, you interview. It's just like applying for a regular job. So when you mark yes on that work study question on the FAFSA, all that does is just help us see if you're eligible. It tells us, yes, you're interested. You want to use that in your financial aid calculation. And so that's kind of how that works. Okay, payment plans. Okay, so we're talking about payment options. So these are options for you once you have got your award letter with your scholarships and grants and loans and things like that. These payment options are how can you take care of what we call the gap amount, or the amount that the financial aid does not cover. So these are some options on how to take care of that gap amount. Payment plans. So you pay during the school year, and then your bill is paid in May. We take 529 in Texas Tomorrow plans. So typically families, whether or not you qualify for that, but our office can help you with that. VA benefits, we are a yellow ribbon school. So if you qualify for VA benefits, we just need your certificate of eligibility. You can just send that into our office, and our Veterans Benefits Coordinator will step you through that process and help award you with that. And then for loans, so federal loans, for the completed FAFSA, again, all freshmen are eligible for $5,500. That's regardless of what your EFC is. Another loan out there is the College Access Loan. This loan is through the state of Texas. It is a 0% origination fee. It's hhloans.com. What I will tell you about this loan is it can take a couple weeks to hear back from the state. So once you submit everything, it can take a couple weeks to have an answer, and you're either approved or you're denied. So if you are interested in that, I do recommend completing that as soon as possible so that we can get that on your account. There's also a PLUS loan. So for parents, it's called a Parent Plus loan. This is a loan in the parent's name. So the College Access Loan is actually a loan in the student's name. Parent Plus loan is a loan in the parent's name. And then private loans, I'm sure you guys have all heard of Sallie Mae, Discover, Wells Fargo. What I will tell you when you guys are looking at loans is look at origination fees, look at interest rates, look and see, are they variable? Are they fixed? Make sure you read the fine print on those, especially on those private loans. And again, if you have any questions, contact our office and we can definitely help you look at that information and kind of see what the terms are. Okay, so scholarships. This is a question, again, I get from a bunch of students are, what are the best scholarships to apply for? How do I apply? I get so overwhelmed. There's so many out there. What do I do? So what I recommend is called the folder method, and it's worked really well for our students. And so what we recommend is have you a binder and have it divided by month. So have a September month, a October, November, December, and every month put 3 to 4 scholarships in there that you really want to apply for. And then that way, when it comes to be November, you can open up November and say, okay, here are the scholarships I want to apply for. What I recommend too on how to choose what month you want to put them in is if they are due in February, put them in the December month, or put them a month or two before they're due. Don't put them in the due date month. Especially if you are a procrastinator. So that way you want to put them in a month or two ahead of time. But put them in that month, and then that way it's not so overwhelming. If you are local to the Hill Country, I listed some local scholarships, but I always recommend start off local and then branch out from there. Also look at your major. Are you a STEM major? Are you a nursing major? There are so many scholarships there that relate to your major. So that's a great place to start as well. So that's kind of scholarships. Okay, so how can we help you? So you can contact our office to discuss the FAFSA. So if there's a question you're just stumped on and you're not sure how to answer it, definitely give us a call or shoot us an email, and we can definitely help walk you through that question. We do recommend that all students complete the FAFSA their freshman year, just because you just never know. You never know what you're eligible for, and so it cannot hurt you. It will never hurt you to fill out the FAFSA. So we always recommend students fill out the FAFSA their freshman year. And then if you decide you don't want it to do it your sophomore, junior, or senior year, then that's fine. But at least freshman year, you'll kind of know like what you're eligible for. So contact us if you have any issues that may affect how you fill out your FAFSA. So if there's a question you're like, oh, my family situation has changed, or we did an amended tax return, I'm not sure how to answer these questions, definitely contact us. Financing options. So if you are just overwhelmed, or you're wondering, I kind of want to do some on a payment plan, but I might have to do some on an outside loan. I wonder how the numbers are going to add up. Again, contact us, because we can help you calculate like what can you do on a payment plan, what would be a good loan for you if you want to do both, or like what is this one versus this option. Definitely reach out to us. And again, some programs and loan applications take some time to complete, like the college access loan. Excuse me. So the sooner you contact us, the sooner we can walk you through those options. This is our contact information, so feel free to take a screenshot or write it down, but this is our phone number. It goes to our financial services counselors as well as our email address. And we are open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. All right, so that's the end of our presentation. So I'm going to open it up. I've got some questions here. Does outside scholarships affect one's financial aid? Excuse me. Yes and no. It will not affect like your scholarships you get from us as far as your merit scholarships and your loans. The only way it can affect you is that if it bumps you out of your what we call need-based aid, it might take a need-based loan and turn it into a loan that's not need-based. But the dollar amount would stay the same. But that is a great question. So if you have a question, please feel free to unmute yourself. Or if you don't want to talk in front of everybody, type it into the chat.
All right, so we had one person that asked about the work study, and if they weren't sure whether or not they put that they were interested in work study. I let them know here in the chat that they are able to go back into the FAFSA and change that answer at any time if they would like to. If they're not sure whether or not they said that they were interested in work study, they're more than welcome to reach out to me, and I can check their FAFSA and see whether or not they did. If they did not, I can give them the information that they need to go on there and change it.
Great. And we have another question. It's asking what the average financial aid package for freshmen looks like.
That kind of varies depending on what their financial need is. But there's a variety of different packages out there depending on, like I said, with the financial need, and then their scholarship level and things like that. And then if y'all are looking at living on campus, the housing and that makes it a bit of a variable there. But if y'all want to reach out to me at any time, y'all are more than welcome to, and I can do a breakdown for y'all of what the estimate's going to be for the year.
And can you tell us how they figure the estimated family contribution?
With the EFC, that is going to be sent to them from FAFSA. whenever they finish their FAFSA and get their confirmation that it's been processed, they'll actually get sent an EFC on there. Or if they'd like to reach out to me, they're more than welcome to, and I can let them know what the EFC is.
Great. We have another question. The $5,500 that is available to all freshmen, how do you apply for that, or is it actually a part of your award package?
The $5,500 is actually offered through FAFSA. So if you complete the FAFSA, the $5,500 is offered to all freshmen.
And then I can go ahead and answer one of the questions. The question is, I was planning on retaking my ACT and SAT to be able to receive more money, but since those have been waived, does that leave me with any other options? This is a great question and it excites me. So yes, you do have options. So how we are awarding scholarships right now is it's a little bit different. We think that you're more than a test score, even set COVID aside. We want to get to know you. And so you need to tell us everything about you. We want to know your extracurricular activities, your volunteer work, your work. Tell us all that you're involved in. Also, tell us about your awards and recognitions. We want to get to know you. We want to see that you're resilient. We want to see that you're a gritty student, that you can be successful. So that's the really most important part for us. And that's what we take into consideration whenever the merit committee meets to go over scholarships. So that's a great question. So another question we have is, will this full call presentation be available yet? Yes, it will be available later. And yes, no, not a problem if you were late. We're going to have this up on our website. So good question. Another question is, if work study was not given to me on my financial aid award, am I still eligible?
The answer to that is yes. Federal financial aid with the work study for federal work study is going to be a need-based thing. But if for some reason, if you did not qualify for the federal work study, you can definitely reach out to David Reist about joining Meaningful Work, which is our part-time jobs here on campus. So that is still a work study position. It will be paid out instead of with federal funds, it'll be paid out with Schreiner funds instead.
Okay, these are all great questions, guys. Please feel free to keep them coming in the chat or go ahead and unmute yourself and just let us know. Okay, so how would I submit those awards, extracurriculars, etc.? I've applied, been accepted, and received the award letter. Okay, another good question. So you can go back and you can actually talk with your admission counselor. You can, or if you happen to be an athlete, that's fine too. You can send this information to your counselor or your coach. You can also email us this information at admissions@schreiner.edu, admissions@schreiner.edu. So submit those resumes. But guys, I want you to really try on those. Okay, so make sure that we have as much information as possible. Tell us everything about you. Tell us those years. Tell us all that you're involved in and from what year to the next so that we can really get a holistic view. Okay. Okay, is there a charge in addition to tuition to be a part of a learning community? So I'm going to go ahead and let one of our admission counselors answer that question.
Yeah, I can talk about that for a little bit. Hi, my name is Jacob. I'm an admission counselor here. I actually wanted to say that it's actually on the contrary. So when it comes to the learning communities, you actually do get awarded if you're accepted to the learning community. You're awarded a $1,000 involvement scholarship just for getting involved here at Schreiner. So that's a cool little perk that you get while you're getting involved with this really cool community that lets you meet up with people who have common interests and let you develop a tighter knit family here at Schreiner. So it's kind of a win-win.
Okay, perfect. We've got a good question. Has any plans been discussed for delaying the upcoming school semester? Okay, so as of right now, we are planning business as usual. We do have an emergency readiness team that is meeting every other day now, and they are discussing any of the updates. We're really paying attention to our guidelines. And so we're just going to take this day by day. Right now, again, just planning business as usual. Right now, we are a closed campus currently, but we are planning for business as usual for the fall semester. We will certainly keep our students, our prospective students and families posted if anything changes. Okay, do we have any parents on this call that have any questions for us? If you'd like to chime in, you're more than welcome to. Okay, well, wonderful. Oh, here we go. We got another one. Would you recommend submitting my resume and a list of activities or maybe a meeting with someone from financial aid? Um, You can certainly do that. You can certainly submit that resume to your admission counselor or to admissions@schreiner.edu, and we will reevaluate that. And that'll probably your best bet. And yes, the $100 deposit is still available. So if you do deposit, it's only $100 right now. We realize that you've got a lot going on, and we really want to help out during this time. So $100 deposit. And guys, this deposit is exactly what that sounds. It's a deposit for your tuition. This is going toward your account. Okay, so this is not just an additional fee or charge. Okay, another good question. When will we know what our payment plan will be?
So with our payment plans, they're going to be starting up here. We were projecting here the first part of June. We're still working on getting all those set up, so I believe it'll probably be during this first week of June. But y'all are definitely more than welcome to call in, and basically what we'll wind up doing is we'll do an estimate for you and let you know roughly what y'all's payments will be, and then we'll get y'all set up for the payment plan. And as we get closer to the semester starting and y'all actually apply, sign up for classes and things like that, we can adjust for anything else like the variables such as with lab fees and things like that. And then we can adjust from there. And we're going to be pretty flexible about the payment plans for the most part on getting everything started up.
Okay, we have another question. Does every student have a different admission counselor, and how do I find their contact information? Okay, so this is a good question. Some students do have different admission counselors. Is just based on where you live. It's just geography. And so our admission counselors are listed on our website. Can you tell me where you're from, Tress? And I can tell you exactly who your admission counselor is. We've got Mathis. Okay, so we've got Jacob Colazzo, who's on the call. He handles our big major area. Jacob, you can introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about the areas that you cover. And then Mike, I believe Mike Vasquez is also on this call, and he can tell you a little bit about him, and he can also discuss his areas as well.
Hey, how's it going, guys? So, yes, thank you, Danielle. My name is Jacob, and I'm an admission counselor here again. So, if you are in kind of the San Antonio area or around there, that is one of my areas. But same goes for the Corpus Christi area and the Valley. So, if you're kind of like anywhere near those areas, then more than likely I'll be your admission counselor. And if you take a look at the chat, thank you very much, Katie. She actually did drop my email address in there as well. So you can always just shoot me a quick email, and I'll be happy to help you out.
All right, I'll introduce myself. My name is Mike Vasquez. I'm a part of Schreiner University. I'm an admissions counselor. I look over regions such as Brownsville, El Paso, Houston, as well as Austin and Waco, and any surrounding little towns and cities. I definitely overlook that. If anything, you're more than welcome to reach out to me at any time. And I really mean that, even if it is 10 minutes after this live stream, even if it is on the weekend. I know everybody else really makes themselves available to really answer any questions you might have. Again, you're more than welcome to reach out to me at any time with any questions. It is not a bother. I've come across many students and parents emailing or phone call, and they say, "I'm sorry to bother you," and I said, "It's not a bother. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you out every step of the way."
Wonderful. Thank you, guys. Okay, we have a couple questions that have popped up. We have a parent question. Thank you so much for chiming in. So their question is, how does the work study work? How does that work? Instead of being paid, does the money earned go toward tuition, or does it work differently?
So with the work study, they would actually be being paid biweekly through a paycheck. It does not actually go through the student's account, so they'll be paid outright for that. They'll get a check every 2 weeks. If they decide that they want to apply that to their student account, they are definitely more than welcome to.
Okay, we have another good question by Daniel. Thank you. How much scholarship do I get for wrestling, and does it increase or reduce due to performance? So that's a great question. No, it does not decrease or increase due to performance. We do have a scholarship right now for our varsity programs, and that is a $1,000 scholarship that you can qualify for if you are part of the team, if you're confirmed for the team. Okay. Do admission counselors prefer communication via email, or should I call? This is completely up to you. Our team is really committed to working around whatever works best for you. So if you prefer to be on the phone, that's fine. We can pick up the phone and we can call you. Or if you would like to text, that's fine. Or if you'd like to email, we'll work around what works best for you. So you just let us know. These are great questions, guys. Keep them coming. Okay, so I'm going to take this opportunity to talk briefly about locked-in tuition. So have any of you heard about locked-in tuition? Give me a thumbs up or something if you have heard of our locked-in tuition, or if you even know what that means. Bonus points if you have a guess. What does that mean? Can somebody tell me? I got some yeses in the comments. Great, I'm loving that you have heard about this. Stays the same all 4 years. Yes, that's right. Ding, ding, ding. You get bonus points. Okay, so this is really important. And, I don't think that a lot of people think about this in the way that we had hoped when we first launched this. When I went to school, I went to Texas State in San Marcos, and we planned, we budgeted, and we said, okay, this is what the tuition is. Okay, we can afford this. We did all of our budgeting, and first year went by, it was okay. Second year went by, it was okay. Third year was a bit of a stretch, and then fourth year, I was running out of money, and I did not know how I was going to afford my education. I had run out of all of my additional scholarships that I brought in, and I said, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And it was because something that we didn't even think of when we were budgeting for our first year in college. The cost of tuition is going up each year. Okay, so what Schreiner has done is we have said, you know what, we're going to put a stop to that. We want to make college affordable. We want to make this within reach for all of our prospective students and families. So it is what it is. It's locked-in tuition. So that tuition that you start with your freshman year is going to last you those 4 years that you're in school. Okay, so you don't have to worry about surprising mom and dad or getting that bill in the mail and it's gone up and you don't know how you're going to afford that education. So that's a really cool thing that we've been trying to do, and we're really excited about it, and we hope that it really helps our students. Okay, is there a scholarship difference between varsity sports and the NCAA athletics? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let our admission counselors handle that one.
So yes, so when it comes to our varsity programs, you do get that $1,000 involvement scholarship like we were mentioning earlier. But when it comes to NCAA, as a D3 school, we're not allowed to give athletic scholarships. So when it comes to students who are coming in as athletes, we really want to make sure we maximize your chance to get merit scholarships, and that's why we recommend exactly what we were saying earlier when it comes to telling us about your extracurriculars and all that stuff. Really, lay it all out there. Let us know everything that you were involved in, so we can really maximize your scholarship opportunities there.
One thing I do want to add to that, to Jacob, what he was just saying right now, is when it comes to letting us know in those resumes, again, it's highlighting really yourself, letting us know what type of awards you've received, any participation in organizations you were in, any leadership roles, any volunteering, any work positions you've been a part of. Those are definite things that we want to know about, as well as time frames, whether you were part of them or part of these things or did these things for, let's say, a month, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. These things really do add up, and I will say that you would be so surprised by what you can get and the type of awards you could receive just by saying, I did volunteering for Habitat for Humanity for 2 years. You'd be really, really surprised. So definitely let us know.
Absolutely. I talk to a lot of students who they're surprised when I say, like, really include everything. But I know, because they always try to keep things really academic. I know when I was coming out of high school, that was kind of my like knee-jerk reaction. I'm like, oh, okay, they want to know like what I was doing in school. Like, why would a university really care that I was, say, bagging groceries at HEB part-time? But really, like, we do want to know that stuff because it really just shows kind of the greater picture. It shows who you are inside and outside of the classroom. Because like we were mentioning earlier, we really want to get to know you as a person, like more than just a student who sits behind a desk. We want to know about all that hard work you were doing inside and also outside of the classroom. So yeah, thanks. That's a great point, Mike.
We have another good question. Does the merit scholarship follow you through all 4 years, or do you have to reapply every year? You do not. That's a great question. So this merit scholarship is going to go each year. Okay, so for 4 years, you're going to have that merit scholarship. You just have to maintain at least a 3.0 GPA, depending on what you're coming in as, transfer or a first-time freshman. And parents, do we have any other questions that we can think of? We're happy to help you too. So how is everyone feeling? Are we getting excited about this upcoming year? Good, 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 good. And have we all decided that Schreiner is our home away from home? I'm loving these responses. That's great. Well, very neat. Okay. Well, if you have any other questions, like Shannon and Preston mentioned, you can definitely email us. You can give us a call. Feel free to reach out. We are definitely happy to help you with any questions that you have. We understand that this information can be a lot to take in all at once, and we know that we do this all the time, and it's it's not the easiest process nor the funnest by any means, but oh, we have a couple more questions. Okay, when will dorm assignments be made? So you can start, the sooner the student has committed, the sooner they can actually sign up for their housing. And so if you by chance have anybody that you would like to room with, then I would recommend getting that request in as soon as possible with our student services department with housing. And they, 90% of the time they're honoring that. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. The sooner you commit, the sooner you have the choice of your desired room. So I would say do that sooner than later. And as far as the actual announcements are concerned, I'll have to touch base with financials, with student services, with housing, so that we can figure out exactly when that will be. And yes, there will be a replay. So we will actually post this video on the website. So you'll be able to do this again. But, we're still on for a few more minutes. So if you have any other questions that you would like us to address, we're more than happy to help you.
So up above, a little while back at about 6:40, Patrick asked the question of, do y'all need a traditional resume style, an essay style, or are there examples of resumes to send in?
We see resumes of all different types. So really this is up to you. Like I said, I really just want to see it thorough. I want to get a really good glimpse of your life and what it is that you're doing. So the more that you can tell us about you, the better. Tell me if you've got volunteer work. And please, don't just list it. Don't just say, okay, I babysat for this. And I want to know the years. Okay. If you have awards and recognition, tell us about that. I was on the bowling team my senior year and we went to state in this, or I was captain of that. Let us know that, because that really helps us with the overall picture. And yes, so the deposit that I mentioned, yes, that is the commitment fee. So we're trying to get away from the word fee, because we really don't. It's not a fee. We don't want you to think that that's what it is. It is a deposit. Okay, so it's $100 deposit that reserves your spot at Schreiner University, and spots are filling up fast, guys. So we're trying to make our class so the sooner you do it, the better, because that locks you in. You are then able to sign up for housing and orientation. It really just gets everything going. Not to mention, it probably makes mom and dad feel better about having everything's lined up. Okay, do we have any other questions in the chat? You're a quiet bunch. Okay, well, what we will do is we will hang on for a few minutes after this call, but if you have all of your questions taken care of, if you're good to go, feel free to just get off the call if you would like. We'll stay on for a few minutes later just in case somebody wants to stick around. Oh my goodness. Okay, there's a couple more coming in. We'll answer some of those chats as they're coming in as well. But please just let us know. Like I said, if you have any questions, you can either email or call us, and we will be happy to help you. So thank you all so much for attending. We really appreciate it, and we hope that you all stay safe.
All right, so we had a question about, can they get a master's in exercise science? So, Mike.
Sorry about that.
What master's programs do we currently have available for students?
I believe we have the Masters of Business Administration as well as a Master's in Education. Unfortunately, we do not have the Masters of Exercise Science at this time. But definitely, if you're looking into, for me, I would advocate and definitely push for the Masters of Business Administration. I have my Masters of Business Administration and absolutely loved that degree, going through it. Just it being online as well, and just the availability of the instructors and the professors, and being able to really just reach out to them was tremendous. I can't speak enough about it. I would really just at least look into those, and just really reach out to those instructors and see how they are, how they can really personalize your experience here at Schreiner.
Okay, so we have another question. If we know we need a college access loan, when should we apply for that loan? How do we know the amount for which we should apply?
So with the amount for the college access loan, that is a good question. With that, if you get in touch with us and we're able to get an estimate out to you, it's actually going to have a breakdown of the college access loan amount that you'll need to request, as well as if you are looking at doing the Parent Plus loan, it'll also have the amount that you'll need to request on that. With the Parent Plus loan, there is a percentage that that the government takes out before we apply it to the account. So there is a small amount that is going to be over the amount that you will need. But with the college access loan, there is not a service fee involved with that.
I'm going to add to that really quick with the college access loan. With them, since the application is taking a few weeks to process, I would recommend, as soon as you know your amount, so you've gotten with Preston or one of the other financial services counselors, looked at your estimated statement and have gotten the amount from that statement, it's gonna be under there under like amount after financial aid. I would recommend to just go ahead and apply and get that part going. But yeah, there's no real deadline like when to start or when it has to be done by, but I would say kind of the sooner the better with that if that's the route you want to go.
So it looks like there's a question on here about transfer orientation. Would one of our admissions counselors be able to help out with that one?
Now let's see, Jericho. I like how you're in this live stream too, Jericho. Seeing you here, seeing you across the live streams from time to time. Unfortunately, I can't really give you the answer. I wish I could in regards to orientation. I know that your question says, as a transfer student, do I need to attend only the transitional orientation on August 21st, or do I need to attend a freshman orientation as well? I want to say safe bet is just the transitional orientation on August 21st, not so much the freshman orientation, really more so just putting emphasis on that transitional orientation. And I do believe Katie also answered that question a little while after that, but just to be sure, you can also reach out to Bailey Smith. She is our transfer admissions counselor, and she can definitely answer that question a lot better than I could. Definitely keep the questions coming, guys. If you have any, please know that you're welcome to just unmute your mic, let us know what kind of questions you might have, or just type in the chat. I know sometimes some people might be a little shy with anything that they might have going on. You're, again, welcome to reach out to us, whether it's financial services or admissions process, wanting to know where you're at in the process, what you still need to submit. If you have anything that you need to submit, as well as looking into that merit reevaluation, resume, what do I need in order to have that reevaluation, or just really wanting to know who's the admissions counselor that I can talk with. Again, there are many, many ways to reach out to us, whatever you're most comfortable with, whether it's through email, text message, even phone calls. You're more than welcome to reach out to us. Again, we're here to help you out every step of the way. Really, we want to provide you with this experience, as well as it being just really one-on-one with you and helping you out to hopefully have you become a future Schreiner University Mountaineer.
Yes, good evening. This is Trisha, Kayla Lucas's mom. I'm sorry I joined in late, but
Yes.
I'm just trying to understand exactly where we stand. It's been a few years for me with this college process. Can you update me a little bit for, I don't know. We're waiting on just waiting to hear back on how much we need to pay or the financial aid package.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Lucas, I'm actually going to be working on your verification here pretty quick on getting all through that verification process. That should be done probably here this evening. And If I need to send off anything to the Department of Education, it may take probably about a week, but after about a week, we should have everything taken care of. And you'll be receiving your offer letter via email as well as through mail.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, do we have anyone else that just has any last minute questions? Anything that they want to just toss out there? You're more than welcome to. Again, if you have any questions that you want personally answered, you're more than welcome to reach out to either myself, admissions counselor Jacob, even financial services. I know they are working hard just like we are, but we will make ourselves available and try to get back to you as soon as we possibly can with any questions you might have.
All right, Ryan, it looks like you just joined the party here. Do you have any questions or anything like that?
Now I know Ryan just joined, but Ryan, I just want to let you know you're probably with right there with your mother as well. Just really want to tell you that we're also going to be posting this live stream session on our website sometime soon. Just keep an eye out for it. I don't want you to miss out on any opportunities here, but definitely just keep an eye out on our website with this live stream. It should be posted. Has a lot of great information in it, has a lot of great questions, a lot of amazing responses. Don't want you to miss out on that. Just keep an eye out on our website for this live stream. If you have any questions, Ryan, you're more than welcome to reach out to us. Probably copy and paste for me right about now. You probably hear this a lot, is that you're more than welcome to reach out to myself as well as financial services and anybody here at Schreiner University, because we're really here to help you every step of the way. All right. Well, if there are no more questions, again, you are all welcome to reach out to us. Any questions, again, even if it's 10 minutes after this live stream, send us any questions you might have via email. Give us a phone call. We'll be here for you every step of the way. We want to thank you again for taking some time out of your evening. We understand that you are just really taking time away and just to be here with us. But again, we are here to help you out to hopefully become a future Schreiner University Mountaineer. Other than that, we hope you have a great rest of the evening and great weekend coming up. Y'all have a good one.